What's going on, guys? It's Sean Petykowski, and I'm here to tell you about some of the gear I'm going to be bringing to North Coast Music Festival this year. I've been given the opportunity to shoot at North Coast Music Festival through some contacts that I made over the past year. I attended North Coast Music Festival last year, and I had a great time, but I never got the opportunity to shoot. Starting back in about March, after they decided that they were going to be doing a second round and bringing North Coast back for its second year, I decided I had to shoot it. So I made a few contacts, emailed a few people, and I was granted one press pass and a 3-day pass in order to cover the fest. Now, North Coast Music Festival is going to take place over Labor Day weekend, starting September 2nd, 2011, and continue from Friday to Sunday. I'm pretty excited to be covering it, and I wanted to share with you guys some of the stuff that I'm going to be bringing to North Coast. Before we start going into the actual gear and the lenses and cameras I'm going to be bringing, we got to start with how I'm going to be carrying it. I use a Low Pro Fastback 250 to carry all my gear. It's served me well in the past. I've had it for about a year. It's been a really, really great camera bag. Not only do I use it to transport my camera gear, but I also use it to bring my laptop around. So there's a slot here. It's got a nice zipper. And you're able to bring a 15-inch MacBook Pro. The 17-inch might fit, but it would be pretty tight, and definitely a 13-inch would fit more than easily. The only trouble that I have is when I start to bring my laptop around with a lot of my camera gear, it's really heavy, and majority of the time, it'd almost be better to take 2 bags. But most of the time, I don't mind it. So as we open up the bag here, you'll see that I have got a few different things that I find essential when I'm going to be covering the concert. As I open this up, very first camera that I'm going to pull out is going to be the Nikon D60. Now attached to the Nikon D60 is going to be the Nikon D7000 2.8. This is the lens that I picked up from Borrow Lenses. Just came in today. It's a really, really awesome lens. I did a few test shots with it. It's absolutely incredible. Super, super sharp. Autofocus is, just incredible. It's got a 77mm filter size. It's nice and big. You're able to capture a lot of light. Again, it's 2.8 all the way through, and that's the 70-200. Now, it's mounted on a pretty basic camera. It's going to be the Nikon D60. It's a pretty good camera. I plan on using it mainly as my backup. Right now, I'm shooting this video on my Nikon D7000. That one was also rented from Borrow Lenses. Right now, I'm in the process of saving up, waiting for Nikon to come out with a new camera. Still, been waiting like a lot of other people have. But for the meantime, I've been able to budget my money instead of, jumping boat, going to Canon, instead of spending money on an older body. I'm really looking for an upgrade from this D60. So hopefully, if a D800 comes out, that'll be my next guy. But continuing on, the D60 I'm probably going to use with the 70-200 mounted on there. This would be for more or less shots that I want to get maybe inside the crowd, maybe when I'm walking around the festival and I want to capture some of their art exhibits or other just portraits I want to take. It's a really, really great lens, awesome compression. Again, super, super sharp. But I'll also be using it on the D7000 when I want to be filling up the frame for the artist as they perform. There's going to be a lot of big names there. I'm really excited. So this lens, for me, is going to be extremely, extremely crucial. I'm going to move my backpack over here. The next guys I'm going to be bringing is going to be the Nikon 24-70 f2.8. Again, this is another Borrow Lenses lens. And once again, it's going to be the 77mm filter size. I've been able to play around with this just for a bit. Haven't done as much as I did on the 70-200. But again, this lens is killer. If I could afford it myself, I would definitely go out and buy it. But unfortunately, they're just way too expensive. And again, going into my savings on a camera body, it's just not quite there yet. Truthfully, to pick it up, Borrow Lenses has great deals, doing a 3-day rental on it. Very, very affordable price. I definitely recommend going through those guys if you can. The last one is going to be my own personal lens, and that one is going to be the Nikon 18-55. Now that's going to be the widest lens that I have. It's going to be a variable aperture, so it'll be 3.5 to 5.6. But again, I'm going to be using it mainly at 18 when I want to get those really wide angle shots of the crowd. If I want to get a wide angle shot of what's going on stage, this is going to be a really great guy. Maybe interchange with the D7000, or it just may be used on the D60. I really haven't decided yet. It'll kind of be one of the spur-of-the-moment things. As I'm going through my bag, it's just going to be something I'll grab out and decide which one's going to be easier to change. Truthfully, lugging this guy around, it's pretty heavy, even though it's mounted on a relatively light and plastic body. But still, I just don't know if I want to be fumbling with this guy just to get the few shots that I'm going to be getting on this 18. A few other things that I'm going to be bringing, right, at least that I carry in my bag almost all the time, is going to be my Nikon SB900. Again, as we go out, typically you're not supposed to use flash during any concerts. So again, I'll be abiding by those rules and not be using flash. It's going to be mainly for crowd shots, maybe some after-party shots. There's a lot of great things that is going to be associated with North Coast, so bringing this guy around is really going to open up a lot of different opportunities for me as it starts to get a bit darker at night. Not sure how much I'm going to use it, but I just couldn't imagine leaving home and not packing this in my bag. Some other things that I like to bring in my bag just because they're easy to carry around and you never know when you're really going to use them is some radio triggers. So these are going to be the Pocket Wizard Mini TT and the Flex TT5. I got these again maybe about 5 months ago when I bought my SB900, and they've been amazing. They're the newest iteration from Pocket Wizard. For me, it's my very first Pocket Wizard, my very first radio triggers in general. And they've always worked really, really well. I've done some stuff, different kinds of photography. It's really great to set your flash out and not really have to worry about it. Put it off to the side. Sometimes even like shooting and then holding the flash off the camera. Sometimes you just really get some really awkward shadows that taking the flash and being able to hold it and move it in the direction you want works really, really well with the SB900s and the new Pocket Wizards. So I'll keep those guys in my bag. Not sure if I'm going to be using them. Probably not. I just wouldn't want to catch myself in a situation where I don't have them. Other than that, it's just going to be some random things that I'm going to have in the bag here. I've always got my N-loop batteries. I've got 8 that are always on standby. They're ready to go. The great thing about the N-loop batteries is they come with a charge already. So it's not like it's going to be one of those things you have to worry about. They say within the first year you can go from anywhere between 100 to 85% of battery life and all the way to 75% for up to 3 years. So these guys are great when you need them in a pinch. Obviously, if you throw them in your battery grip, they're going to go very, very quickly. But it's just one of those things that I definitely think has to be there just in case. Going through the rest of my bag, I've got some other spare batteries, other little Duracells for my mini TTs, nothing too important. I always carry a few extra memory sticks with me, so I've got a few 8 gigs, a few 4 gig cards. Let's see what else I got here. I also carry around a flash diffuser. Again, goes in line with the SB900. This thing maybe weighs, a fraction of a pound. It's very, very easy. For me, it's almost a no-brainer to not carry it around. Every once in a while, it's much easier to pop it on and have the camera recognize it and get some nice soft lighting. For me, I just can't see leaving this guy at home. And other than that, I've got one more guy that I bring in here. Now, these are going to be Apple retail bags. Nothing too special. Just the same bags that you get when you buy something from the store. But personally, to me, this is one of the most important things that I carry in the bag. With this, just in case it happens to rain, I hope it's not, but just in case it does, you can take the large size bag, and it actually fits perfectly over the the Fast Pack 250. So in a pinch, if I really need to, I can take this guy, whip it out, cover it on my bag, make sure that all this gear isn't going to be ruined by the rain. In addition to that, I also carry around a medium-sized bag. And what's really great about this guy is you take it and you cut a hole in there. So you'll see that I've cut a hole at the bottom of the bag. And in the top of the bag, it's got these drawstrings that close shut. So what I really like to do is, just because it's raining doesn't mean that I can't continue shooting. You take this guy out, you throw it inside the bag, and very carefully, you pull the drawstring closed onto the lens. Now obviously with the hood on, it makes it a bit more difficult, but you can get the job done. So you've got it in there, and now on the other end, you've got the open side of the bag. So now I can still look through this lens here, and I'll still be able to shoot. It's really great. It keeps me protected from the elements. It does its job for what I need while I'm shooting in weather that's obviously not going to be the best. Concert's not going to be waiting for me. Weather's not going to be waiting for me. So I have to come up with a solution. And again, go make a purchase. Otherwise, just go ask for one. Really not too big of a deal. Maybe cost you about 15 cents. Otherwise, any standard garbage bag will work just fine. So other than that, that's going to be everything that I'm going to be carrying in my gear when I go to North Coast. Hopefully, if some of you guys are going to be there, definitely stop and say hi. I'll be more than happy to take a picture, talk photography, talk music just a little bit. But no, if you got any questions, feel free to email me. Feel free to hit me up on this YouTube link right down here below. And thanks for watching. See ya.
His own life was as bizarre as his tales. His own life story is the story of an author of fantastic imagination, a brilliant editor and